All right, we're trying again. I have issues, but we're gonna get it fixed. We are going to get it fixed. That's not TV. Technology. OBS. Yo. All right. We should be good again. Are we going? Yeah, we're going. Okay. Now then, I've got to... I don't know the keys yet, but I want to do it like this. There we go. And I gotta go start something else here. I can remember it. I think it's this. No, it's not. Is it record my camera? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely gotta do this name. This is my crude way of knowing when my camera is on. Got to keep Python alive. You know what I'm saying? See if it works. Yeah. All right. Oh, my light's out. Because I've had to reboot like 3 times tonight because my Linux system is... something is conflicting. Oh, that's way too bright. It's way too bright. Way too bright. There we go. All right. Back up. And I think we can finally start what I was going to do instead of all this side quest. Can't see. I'm trying to type. On this small screen. It's the hazards of getting old. All right. So we might crash again. Because something is locking my system up. But this all looks good now. So let's continue. CC YOLO. You gotta go YOLO. Alright, now I have some explaining to do here. Had so much go on, I gotta remember what I've done. Right here. Did not want to do that, so let's quit that. What I want to do is this. I think I made the directory. Just want to make sure. Yeah, I did. All right. Pausing because I'm thinking how the best to get context to Claude here on what we're doing. Let me just be straightforward right now. No, I don't need him to switch that. I need him to. Oh, I gotta get my GitHub. That's what I gotta do. Gotta get the link. All right, now we can go. I think we got everything in Mandrel, but let's make sure. I'm probably gonna have to relog in. No, I don't have to. All right. Yeah, troubleshooter, context. So yeah, so he can go there. Switch. Project. All right, that's as clean as I can keep it. Let's make this smaller. So Sherry Gardner, my one viewer, can you see the text better? I made it larger tonight. All right, let's see what he's got here. All right, so what this is last night I had an idea because we were trying to work out a bug on this project here, which is motion and animator. And we went through the bug fix a couple times and it wasn't working. So I do this thing when we get in this loop, and what happens is they're really guessing. They're not really they're looking for the, well, let's put it this way. They're giving you the most common reason for whatever the problem is. And it's just because they're predictors and they're predicting what the most common response for this situation would be. So they're not really troubleshooting. They're not most of the time. Now this is most of the time. You can put them in this mode. So that's what I do is I will go back to my Navy days. I was a ET, electronics technician. So I learned how to troubleshoot. When you troubleshoot, you would have a good signal, and you'd find a bad signal. That's the basics. You have your signal tracing, and you follow it all the way down to the component level, whatever component is causing the problem. So I would use this analogy with them when we get in this loop, and I'd say, let's look at it like you're a electronics technician, and you're tracing a signal, and you're going to find where the signal's good, you're going to find where the signal's bad, and you're just going to step through it, and you're going to find good inputs and bad outputs. And when you get a bad output, that's where the problem is. And my whole idea there was it just makes them get out of this guessing mode, and it makes them actually debug and actually go read code better and go through the code better, instead of guessing, because they want to do it quick. So you're just slowing them down. So I always say all the time, I'm pulling the reins back. Sometimes you just gotta let them go, but other times you got to pull the reins back. And so when I was typing this analogy out to him, which I could make it a lot easier if I just saved it somewhere, but anyway, it triggered this idea. I'm like, well, why don't we actually debug that way? When I was in the Navy, we used oscilloscopes, voltage meters. So we took measurements, right? So that's why I'm like, why can't we measure code? You can measure code. You have an input, and you should expect a certain output. And so you measure that, right? So you're measuring. So I just took that idea, and I'm like, why can't we do this? So anyway, that's where we're at. That's what we're working on, and we actually built a troubleshooter skill last night with some files that they have to use this certain structure, and it actually proved out on one bug last night. So I only had this one bug for proof. Well, that's not good enough, right? So that doesn't mean anything. So we're taking Carpathy's loop, auto research loop, and we're just modifying it to fit this test, and we're gonna have 50 bugs in various places, and this is the plan I'm reading through right now. But the overview is we're gonna take 50 bugs, and we're gonna loop over these bugs and do without the troubleshooter, and then do one with the troubleshooter, and then we'll compare, and then we're going to start refining it from there. Once we see if there's a clear troubleshooter's better, without the troubleshooter it's worse. We see that, then we're going to take this loop and we're going to have it try different variations of the troubleshooter and basically self improve itself if it's possible. So that's the crazy plan, and that's the crazy world we live in right now. All right. So methodology. All right, we're gonna start this build, and we're building the environment to run this experiment in. But I have a question on the actual bugs and code. How do we use this spec? Right now, I'm also forcing it to think more about what we're doing and get more of the bigger picture. Or actually, it had a bigger picture. Actually, I'm forcing it to narrow down a little more focused. I know this is sorry, I'm reading. I know this is something that's done, but if you ask it, you know, you ask questions too about the project, or ask, even if it's things like this, I really want to know. But every time you ask it a question, especially at the start, and if you keep it focused to what the task is you're going to do, then it just kind of makes that context better, kind of molds that context better. this was my concern, and I'm asking Claude, this is getting recursive. I'm asking Claude to generate code with bugs in it. But doing that means it's trained on that exact thing, and that's one of the, you know, it's going to be a first token out fix for it, because it's a common thing. So it's going to, what I'm trying to say, it's going to create bugs that are common. And when I run this baseline test on it without the troubleshooter, that's going to be an easy fix for it, because it's a common bug that it's planted itself. So I think what I need to do here, I think I'm going to have my other session, Claude session here. We need to find real problems, real bugs, real code. How do we do that? GitHub would be my first. I would think GitHub would be full of it. All right, let's do this. Got to update him from where we left off. This is where Mandrel is so helpful. I'm getting another idea here, so I'm probably going to lose it. I got to make a note. Give me a second. Okay. Question is, how do we get that? Is there one problem. Let's see what it says. Make this bigger. All right, let's see what it says. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We got a plan for formulating here. All right, let's see what he's come back with here. All right, let me get this Claude going and give him an update. Okay, I have another. Probably don't have to type all that out every time. It'll know, but sometimes when you just think you don't have to be specific, you have to be. Should know what that means, orchestrating. I probably didn't spell that right. All right, now back over here. I think I can, let's do what I was doing last night. That helps me. What we're focusing on, maybe that'll help a little bit. I write the bugs. That's funny. If any code that I write would be, it would be one giant bug. I'm not afraid to admit that. All right, let's expand on option 1. Let me go here. Oh, this is going to be a gold mine right here. I like this. Yeah. All right, I think this is pretty solid. As long as we, well, I think this is going to be buggy no matter what. So the problem is I need bugs with clear answers. And since we're going to go to GitHub, find closed PRs, we'll know what the fix is. All right. We're building over here. So we're back over here. Look at him multitasking for me. Monitor is looking good. Our swap is 0. We are maxing out my CPU though. What's doing that? Why is there 2 Spotify's running? All right, well. What happened here? Oh, I told him to run the test. Keep up, Brian. Keep up. You got multi-agents going here. All right, so about done there. I think we were waiting on all right. All right, so our harness is set up and ready to go. We're just waiting on real bugs now. And I need to read that plan or bring it up, so let's go back over here. Let's save this. To save this now. Yeah. Get rid of that. Let's open. All right, so this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing essentially right here. All right, so he's back. All right. This is one of the coolest things about Claude code now, at least for me. I mean, it's getting so good visually, and you can just ask it to create a dashboard and it'll use HTML, CSS, and just whip you up a dashboard for outputs. I don't know why it might have timed out, but all right. We're making some progress here, getting this test environment set up. It was a rough start tonight. This is another nice thing, like on this session here. It's got agents running in the background parallel, so it can stop the loop. Once that agent in the background stops, it triggers your main agent. It can come and respond and give you, an update. So it doesn't have to stay open and constantly run. Things are running in the background, and then when they're done, it hooks or triggers in, then your main agent responds back. So it's nice. He's working awful hard on that dashboard. That's what happens. So I reset. All right, so we got a little bit of waiting to go here. So while we're waiting, let's go look at Mandrel, and let's test our motion. We're gonna start a new one. So let's go back here. So this is what led to Troubleshooter being formed as an idea, because we were debugging an issue in motion, and motion is a way for a user. Let's say you're creating a web page or a web app, anything, and you wanted to create a little animated splash page, or something that moves around, has something a little different to it. This is a basic animation maker. So you have a canvas. I'm gonna have to work. This is not perfect by any means. Actually, that's a little smoother. No, it's still jumpy. I got to smooth this scroll out for sure. We have a grid with your x-axis and then your y-axis, so it'll tell you your pixels where you need to, for your values. So it kind of helps as a reference point. So let's say you wanted to have a little box. Let's do a couple boxes. All right, let's do a couple boxes. And let's do 3 boxes, and let's change the color so you can select, just like other software like this. It's common. You got a color palette here, so let's change this to something bright like that, and let's change this to something. No, what do we want to do here? Yeah, that looks good. And let's go something in the yellow. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be very basic. There's things you can do to make this a little sorry. All right. Yeah, there's things you can make this more complicated if you want, but this is going to be very basic. All right, so select an object that you want to add an animation to. So it's, you're going to add a tween to it, and this is going to ask you which, how you want to move it. Right? What do you want to do to it? So what we're going to do is we're going to move this one. Now we're going to move this one in the X position. So we'll leave it X, which is going to move it this way or this way, right? Horizontal. All right, so we got the tween added. Now you got your element down here we need to click on. This is the actual tween, and then you're going to have your properties panel come up. My terminology is terrible here, by the way, so. But I can build things that work. So anyway, this is our properties panel for our tween, for our animation. So duration is, you know, just how exactly as it says, how long is it going to run. So you can see it's for 1 second. Our total play time here is 3 seconds. So we're going to do this for 3 seconds. You can add a delay if you want to here. We're not going to. And then that's just your starting position. Now our properties, I need to change this name, but that's where we're going to move it to, right? So this is our grid up here. So we're going to move it to, let's say 600. All right. Oh, I got to click back on my tween, get my properties up. So we're going to change this to 600. And we should be good. We can test it. We're going to hit space bar. Oh, it moves over. Now it went way past 600, didn't it? Why is that? We're gonna have to work on that, but you get the idea. I know why, because it said starting position 0. We're not picking up the starting position. It's defaulting to 0, so it thought it was over here. The grid's offset is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we'll fix that. But you get the point, right? So now let's take this one and let's do something. I have not tried this, so we're going to move it in the X position too. And we're going to add, let's change duration here to 2 seconds. Uh-oh, that's another bug. I can't highlight. I got to use this. I don't like that at all. So see, we're finding bugs. Oh, I see what's going on here. It won't let you put 0. And when you go past 0, it goes right back to 0.05 as the default. So all right, let's get that back to an even number. And, oh my goodness. All right, that's good enough. 2 seconds. And let's move this. We gotta select it. We're gonna move it. Let's do 600 as well. Then what this should do is move faster than this top one, I think. Yeah. Well, that one moved faster, right? Because we had a 2 second duration for this from this point to this point. Now, on this one, let's make this one go. Gonna add a tween, X position. I'm not doing that there again. We'll change it into properties. We'll do this one in 1 second. Right, default at 1 second. So this one should be the fastest. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole thing. And we're gonna change that to 600 as well. So they all should end at the same spot. I did not hit enter, and it probably didn't save it. Nope. 600, enter. Now let's play it. Oh yeah. So see, you can do some basic animation, and then what I also added This was where the bugs came in. This was a lot more difficult than I thought. And I hope it works. So we could add text. Now we can group this. That's a bug too. When I select it, it jumps back up to the snap grid. Got to be able to turn that off. So yeah, select. We can select both, and we can now hit Control G to group it. And then we got to group properties over here. Right there. So now this should wait a minute. I've got to add. Yeah. All right. So I still got to add a tween to this, I believe. Yeah. Since I grouped it, it got rid of the individual. So X position, and we're going to change that duration to we're going to select it first, Brian. Duration to 3. And we're going to 600 and hit enter. Then that did not work. What did I do? What did I do? Anyway, it does animate. If anybody's watching, this is live. This is real time stuff, man. This is what you go through. All right, so let's ungroup this. So I can hit Control Shift G. Let's hit spacebar and see. All right, we're back to where we were. All right, let's do this. Can I? This is a good test. Delete tween. Yep. All right, now let's group this together. Control G, groups. Grouped it. We're gonna add a tween to that group. We're gonna go X position, add tween. We need to select it down here. And we want duration. And I think I know what's gonna happen here. I think the same thing's gonna happen. I don't think the bug is what I think it is. I think I know what the bug is now. So we want this duration 3 seconds, and we're gonna go 600. And I guarantee you, well, I'm not gonna guarantee you, but I think what's gonna happen. Did I hit enter? Yeah, we saved it. I think what's gonna happen is the same thing. This is gonna go normal, like over here in the same position, same speed. This is gonna go slower, and it's gonna end up at actual 600 because if I add a text, the starting position is 400. It's recognizing the right starting position, right? Where my box was not, my boxes are not, they're going out here. So this all goes back to the same, the text is working right. So watch. Now my box is working right because the text is working right. It's taken precedent, it's priority over the, that's exactly, because it's stopping at 600 now. All right, so we got a bug here. And once we get troubleshooter verified, we're gonna run that on that bug. If anybody is watching, I'm going to show you what a real live agent, a real agent, personal agent, my own personal squire can do. But I'm going to have to type this out. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to type all that out right now. Change of plans. See if we have all 10 bugs are complete with all required files. Here the summary. Perfect. Perfect. And look at that. I need up some context on that one. I think this one's got to be, this is not 1 million. Like, I bet you it's not. My dashboard. There we go. See what I'm talking about? You can take any test that you're running, as long as you got some kind of output, and it'll create a dashboard for you. With styling and everything, baby. I don't care what anybody says. You can harp on their style, but it's what you can do. It's what you can do right now. It's insane. All right, so, and because my mind is all over the place, I think this thing is just like perfect for me. This is why I got to find a job. Anybody hiring? All right, let's see. All right, my dashboard's up. Tests are done. And then let's run it. We should. All right, now we're going. Now our dashboard should update. Let's bring this up. So we're probably, it's not live. We're gonna have to wait till it updates. Just verify. All right, let's try it. So didn't think that through. I should have thought that through a little more. Told him I wanted live updates. Let's check our B. It's not B top, but our monitor. Whoa. Some major wind coming through right now. That was crazy. Let's get him back. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. See, I think this is just going to be the issue of trying to find real bugs that aren't being vacuumed up and fed to these models, because you know that's what's happening. I mean, I don't know that's what's happening, obviously. That makes sense to me. That's what I would be doing. So they've seen all of this, is what I'm saying. Especially if, you know, some of these are older, these tests that they found, or these real bugs that they found. Now, we rebuilt them according to Claude. I have not verified that, obviously. But there's ways to tell, you know, things aren't right. And if they're fixing all of these this fast, then either these are not hard enough, they're cheating, and they will cheat. They don't think it's cheating, but they'll find ways to work around things. So you can label that whatever you want. Some would say smart. Let's see. We're about halfway done. Let's go back to we click on that. Now it's saying starting position 140, which is right. 140, 60, 140, 160, 140, 260. So why is my theory's all messed up now? But I know, didn't we see a 0? We saw a 0 in there earlier on this first. Let's get it back. Oh, we're not updating. This is another bug. This seems bad, but I'm really not worried about it because we'll squash them. It's just a matter of finding them. So I like finding them. Let's do this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's go back here. Let's see. All right, so let's ungroup this again just to see what happens. We lost our tweens there, which is right. And let's get this back. Let's see, starting position. And then, oh, was it when we added the tween? Add a tween, X position, add a tweens. Click on the tween. Position 0. All right. Let's see if it does it now. Position 0. Going to 600. Because I didn't change the speed. Right, so our bug is back. And it's because of when we add a tween, what we need to do is the tween needs to pick up, because I bet you if I do this at 140, my guess, hopefully this will prove my theory out, that it'll stop here now. But what's weird here is what is going on. All right, we're gonna click on this. $140. Do this 600. Let's change this to 3 seconds. All right, now let's see what happens. Yeah, it doesn't like that when I change that 140 position at all. And what's going on down here? That is odd. Yeah, we got bugs, man. We got bugs. We got plenty of bugs for the troubleshooter. All right, let's see, now our timer's jacked. So let's delete this. Delete this. And it's gonna work. Yeah. It did not like me changing that position, but this is not coming back again. That is obviously a refresh issue. Let's go back. Well, I think this is not going to fare well for the troubleshooter because these are all errors that they fixed. So I think what I'm going to have to do, I think we can do it this way, but I'm going to have to throw all of these out, and I'm going to have to find a set of 10 that they cannot fix the first time. That's how I'm going to have to handle this. So let me go back and do that slash by the way. Is my thinking right here. I'm not sure how this by the way feature works here. I'm sure it's a separate instance. All right, y'all. I'm gonna shut this stream down and I'm gonna get an answer here. We're gonna just let this thing run overnight if I can get some direction. Until next time, Ridgetop.